Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Craig and Dave channel with me, David Morgan. So here's a fun question. The games industry, is it secretly in trouble? I mean, on the surface, it's living its best life. Record-breaking profits, huge player bases, Call of Duty sequels that no one asked for. Everything seems fine, right? So why, might you ask, is Microsoft slashing 650 jobs and shutting down studios left and right? Yeah, it's not quite the fairy tale it seems. Now buckle up, because today we're diving into the weird world of gaming layoffs. First up, let's talk money. The gaming industry is pulling in serious cash. In 2023 alone, the industry made around $227 billion. Now let that sink in for a second. That's a lot more money than most countries. And it's only going up. They're predicting $312 billion by 2027. So why on earth are we seeing so many people losing their jobs? Let's take Microsoft as an example. They've just laid off another 650 people after buying Activision Blizzard for a cool $69 billion. That's after closing 4 other studios earlier this year. It's like, hey, we're richer than ever, but sorry, we can't afford to keep you. Make it make sense, right? Nan, I know you're on the run from the police, but at least we can still play Call of Duty. You're still killing me, aren't you? Nan, you're still a nightmare with games. You would just... She's too good. Turns out this isn't exactly new. The gaming industry has this nasty habit of hiring loads of developers when they're working on a big game, but once that game's out the door, it's like, thanks mate, don't let the door hit you on the way out. It's called the boom-bust cycle. Let's look at Arcane Austin and Tango Gameworks. These studios pumped out critically acclaimed games, but once the projects wrapped up, poof, they were gone. All that hard work and suddenly no more paychecks. It's like finishing a marathon and being told, congratulations, you're fired. Nice. And speaking of corporate moves, let's not forget the power plays happening behind the scenes. Big companies like Microsoft and Sony, they're snapping up smaller studios, like they're collecting Pokemon cards. Gotta catch them all, right? But here's the twist. After the billion-dollar buyouts, they suddenly need to cut costs, because apparently making boatloads of cash isn't enough. They've got to impress shareholders too. And how do you impress shareholders? By laying people off. Makes sense if you're a cold, calculating spreadsheet. So who's actually getting the short end of the stick here? Now, spoiler alert, it's not the executives chilling in their penthouses. No, it's mostly younger, more marginalized workers. If you're new to the industry or part of a minority group, you're at the front of the layoff queue. Riot Games, which is owned by the Chinese tech giant Tencent, just cut 11% of its staff. Now that's like the Hunger Games, but in real life. But not everyone's taking this lying down. Enter unions, the gaming world's new power-up. Games developers are getting fed up with being treated like disposable NPCs, so they're organizing. Unions can't stop layoffs completely, but they can at least soften the blow. We're talking better severance packages, longer notice periods, and sometimes even job sharing to keep people employed. It's like equipping a shield before a boss battle. Not perfect, but way better than going in unarmed. Now here's where things get really interesting. The education system. Every year, thousands of new graduates flood the market, all bright-eyed and ready to make the next Fortnite or Minecraft. But here's the kicker. There just aren't enough jobs for all of them. Universities are pumping out games designers, programmers, and artists like it's the new gold rush. And these graduates, well, they're walking into an industry that's got more layoffs than job openings. It's like training for the Olympics only to find out there's no race. So where do we go from here? Well, some people are calling for more accountability from gaming companies. You know, making sure that if they're getting public money or tax breaks, they're actually creating jobs and sustainable jobs, not just hiring and firing whenever it suits them. Players also have a role here. If enough gamers demand better working conditions for the people making their games, then companies might actually listen. I mean, who doesn't want to feel good about their favorite game and know that the people who made it aren't being treated like disposable code monkeys? The next time you boot up your Xbox or load up your favorite game, think about the people behind it. The gaming industry is massive, sure, but we've got to ask, who's it really benefiting? And more importantly, what can we do to make sure it works for everyone, not just the ones at the top? To summarize, the gaming industry is making huge profits, but major companies like Microsoft are still laying off employees and closing studios. The boom-bust cycle in game development leads to job cuts after big projects are finished, despite growing revenues. Corporate acquisitions prioritize shareholders, leading to layoffs which disproportionately impact younger and marginalized workers. Unions and player activism are emerging as solutions to improve working conditions and accountability in the gaming industry. Let me know in the comments, what do you think the future holds for gaming? Boom. boom or bust, or maybe both at the same time. And that's it for today. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the weird and wonderful world of tech. Catch you next time. Nan, stop sniping me!